I know I'm the new kid around here, and I'm gonna make some mistakes. I just want you guys to know that I'm not gonna resort to the kind of dirty tactics that Diana used. Spectator only publishes truth. And yeah, sex sells, but if the story involves scandal, it needs to be verified. We have an opportunity to do things differently here. So I'm around if anyone has any stories you'd like to pitch. Thanks.
Nate, I've got a lead on a famous congressman's wife who's having an affair.
Well, we've heard that story a million times. Do we have a new angle? What was going on in Washington at the time? Does the wife want to come clean? Dig deeper.
Before I do, you should know, the congressman is your cousin, Tripp Vanderbilt.
Listen, I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you.
Yeah, I doubt that. I'm sure you're enjoying every second of this.
I know our history isn't exactly pristine, Tripp, but we're still family.
God, their sailing instructor, really? I should have known when she kept asking to leave grandfather's compound a week early.
And you were there all of August, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Usually she complains about having to go back to DC. Look, man, we really worked on our marriage after my whole Serena situation. I just thought we were on the right track.
I'm sorry.
Look, I get you have to run the story. Just, I hope you don't let your personal feelings against me make it any uglier than it has to be. Hey. Thanks for telling me.
Hey.
I guess now we're even.
Hey, grandfather, it's Nate. I'm gonna wait on that story. I think Maureen's lying about the affair. I just don't know why. When Tripp told me he and Maureen were with you all of August, something didn't feel right. That's when one of my reporters said she was spotted with her sailing instructor.
She could have snuck down to D.C. for a night or two, I'd imagine.
Which is why I called the club. Turns out the only sailing lessons Maureen ever took were from a woman named Heather 2 years ago.
Are you saying?
Maureen's faking an affair? Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time she's faked something.
Think of what it would do to Tripp. It would hurt him immeasurably.
Or help him. Tripp just hired a new campaign manager to explore running for governor. The last time he needed help in the polls, Maureen hired someone to jump in the Hudson so Tripp could look like a hero.
So now she's making him into a victim? Seems like a risky move.
Oh, well, think about it. A politician out there fighting for the good in Washington while his wife steps out on him at the yacht club. It's a sympathetic story.
I can't believe that Maureen would risk her marriage.
Oh, well, she'd make a public apology and go to counseling. Convince him it'd be better for his career to stay together. And in 2 years, when his name's on that ballot, people will remember him as the guy who fought through a rough patch to save his family.
It's pretty shrewd. At least you won't have to run the story of her affair.
No, I'll just run this one instead.
I understand you're upset by Maureen's manipulations. But Tripp was completely in the dark about her antics with that river rescue. I'm sure this is the same now. Now, this is not a story. This is a family squabble that could cost your cousin his career.
I'll do the right thing, don't worry. Thanks.
It's so nice working for someone who means what he says.
Yeah, well, let's hope everyone feels the same way.
We at the Spectator are the voice of honesty, not the wealthy or politically connected. Recently, a family member tried to manipulate our site for personal and political gain. We're not going to name names. We're not going to post the story or bury it. But instead, we're coming to you with a promise that we will never let money, power, or personal agendas get in the way of reporting the truth.
Told you I'd do the right thing. I'm sorry if we have different versions of what that is.
I'm not here to reprimand you. You remind me of myself when I was your age.
Wait, you're not angry that I alluded to Maureen?
You're your own man, Nathaniel. I've always loved you, but now, well, I respect you too.